Now then, before Prime Minister's questions this lunchtime, Rishi Sunak made this statement, apologising on behalf of the government for the horrific historic treatment of LGBT people serving in the military.
The ban on LGBT people serving in our military until the year 2000 was an appalling failure of the British state, decades behind the law of this land. As today's report makes clear, in that period many endured the most horrific sexual abuse and violence, homophobic bullying and harassment, all while bravely serving this country. Today, on behalf of the British state, I apologise. And I hope all those affected will be able to feel proud parts of the veteran community that has done so much to keep our country safe.
Well, Kevin Bazeley, who was an RAF navigator until his sexuality was exposed, was in the House of Commons to hear that apology, and he joins us now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How was that? How did you feel hearing that?
It was an extraordinary feeling. It's been a very emotional day, a lot of anxiety, very much a sleepless night. The apology was very, very welcome, although it was very, very overdue. We've been waiting for decades.
Now, can you tell us what happened to you? Because there was you were in the military and you had your sexuality hidden until one moment. Tell us what happened.
Yes, I was in the Royal Air Force. I was a navigator serving up in the north of Scotland at RAF Kinloss. I lost a wallet. Unfortunately, that wallet had some membership cards in it for a gay social club and a gay nightclub. And unfortunately, it was handed in to the RAF police and a special investigation branch. And so I was arrested, questioned, suspended, and eventually ordered to resign my commission.
Right. And that whole process, I mean, we're talking back in 1994, but it's obviously been, given the way you feel today, was extremely traumatic. Extremely traumatic.
It's something that never leaves you. My RAF career was the one and only career I had wanted as a child growing up. Everything I did was working towards that goal and focusing on getting into the RAF as an officer, as aircrew. And my country, my service took that away from me for something completely beyond my control.
And we should explain, you had been married, hadn't you? And you were divorced.
Yes, I was married at the time of myself being outed and suspended. I was actually just separated. I'd been separated for a year or so. So, as with many men, I met a woman. I thought everything was okay, and I married. And then eventually it dawned on me that actually things weren't quite right for me and that I was gay.
But as I understand it, your fears about your job meant you couldn't even explain to her why it wasn't working.
Exactly that. I couldn't tell her the reason why I needed to separate, because that all-encompassing fear that she would let slip to the RAF authorities, and that would be the end of my career anyway.
So what did you do after you left the military?
So I was underqualified, really, to in a lot of respects, to work in the civilian world. There were no civilian navigators at that time, so I looked at what skills I had. Obviously, I had significant management skills as a commissioned officer in the RAF. I was good with numbers, I was good with people, and so I retrained in the world of finance and became a management accountant.
And this apology, today's news, what does it mean to you? How would you explain?
It's back then, the defence and the state made us doubt our honour, our dignity, our integrity. Hearing that apology today means that the defence and the state are finally allowing us to recognise that honour, dignity, integrity that we all have.
And so does this put a lot to rest for you?
It puts a lot to rest for me. There are a lot of veterans that have been impacted by this. I mean, estimates of up to 5,000 people. For some of those people, it's too late. The ban started in 1967. So for some of those people, this apology is going to be too late. They will have gone to their graves always feeling that shame and humiliation that was forced on them by government and the state. Others, yes, hopefully this will start to give them that closure that they need to come back from, for a lot of them, very significant impoverishment, feelings of shame. Some of these people were arrested, they were locked up, some of them were put on sex offenders registers. They were subject to the most humiliating and abusing state-sponsored torture, effectively, with medical examinations that were highly intrusive and personal.
Kevin Bazeley, thank you very much.
Thank you.